concept of opening the pool after the winter ends here at our house has changed somewhat since the pool pump has been redone. Between the robot that automatically sweeps the floor, the salt chlorinator that keeps chlorine levels a lot more stable, and the new pool pump itself that replaced the DE filter, that makes it much easier to manage the filtration of the water as compared to all the problems that we previously had. But be that as it may, we run it at a really slow speed on the multi-stage pump, and now we're bringing it back up, and we are going to have to conduct our first filter maintenance. So let's get started. So what this is going to be is the standard filter pump maintenance on my new setup, and this is not going to include the salt chlorinator because obviously that is a separate maintenance activity. But aside from that, this is it. This is what we're going to do. If you do want to see my video about cleaning the salt chlorinator performing maintenance on this, click the video on the top right, it'll take you to it. And our filter today is going to be a Hayward Star Clear Plus standard cartridge filter. And we're going to start by shutting down the pump. Shutting down the pump is not a replacement for common sense. I remind people, always shut the main breaker whenever you're working on pool equipment. It's not worth your life. Steffi's now going to turn the pressure valve on the left-hand side of the canister. This is also the valve that's used to purge air when it's running. We can hear the pressure release. And we'll wait for that to finish. You can hear as the pressure drops, eventually air starts to backfill in the system as water drops out of the top. That top screw is then turned counterclockwise until the cover kind of spins freely. Just like that. Then the cover is just lifted right off. The filter element is then lifted straight up and out of the unit. You can see some debris inside the top of the canister. We're going to wash that out first. Let's start off the cleaning of the filter just by removing the debris on the top. Conventional wisdom would tell you to wash the filter from the inside out like this, but not only is it very difficult, it's not actually necessary. You could just clean the entire filter section at a time or row by row up and down in the direction of the filter elements as shown here, and the dirt comes right out. I found that the bottom portions are a little more difficult than the top portions. All the dirt seems to collect at the bottom like this, but all of it really comes out at the end. It just takes a couple of minutes to clean the entire filter element. I found that ultimately the easiest way to clean this filter was elevated, especially the ability to address the lower portion of the filter that has the most dirt here on the bottom, where it seems that gravity pulls the dirt all the way to the bottom even during the cleaning process as shown here while I'm washing it. This filter ended up about as good as new, ready for installation. If it turns out the filter was just way too nasty for cleaning or there was physical damage to the filter, you could just look at the corresponding model of the canister right here on the sticker and order the correct filter for your unit. Mine, the CX1200, cost about $130 at Leslie's. Comparatively on Amazon, they cost significantly less for the OEM and a lot less for some off models, but I could see it at about $90. There's some 2-packs or whatever. But your mileage varies with some of the off brands. One reason that it seems my filter fared so good the entire winter is because I use these nylon socks that go over the basket or around the basket on the top side of the pickup. We can see it's very fine material, and it filters out a lot of the garbage that gets blown into the pool over time. We could see this has been sitting way too long, if only for dramatic effect and a lot of laziness after wind blowing in and the lawnmower blowing stuff into the pool, how much this catches before it goes in the filter. And just rinse it right out, no problem at all, ready like brand new. And I drop mine back in the basket. I have a small hole in mine just for that little handle, but it's ready to go. Just spray out this area of the canister. Make sure the mating surface for the seal is clean. We're now going to lower the filter back into position. As the filter is lowered, you could tell when it seats correctly, because as you drop it drops down a little bit lower and then becomes stable. So searching for the middle, give it a turn, and then it drops down lower, and then there it is, right in position. And I'll show once from overhead as I check that the filter is firmly seated in the bottom. I will now be applying pool and spa lube to the O-ring. I didn't feel as though the O-ring needed to be removed to accomplish this. Cover is now placed back over. You could feel when it seats properly, also maintaining the correct direction of the pressure gauge for viewing. Right now we can see the cover is still spinning, but before it's tightened down, definitely want to make sure it's in the right direction. And it's really just hand tightened. It's a large plastic screw up top, so you could get enough force on it to tighten it down properly, just like that. Then the air valve up top, the bleeder valve, is to be shut, at least for now. Satisfied that everything around the pump looks okay, we turn the main breaker back on, make our way over to the panel, and now we'll reapply power to the pump. During this priming stage, when it's running at high speed, the first thing I'm doing is checking for leaks. I see that everything is leak-free. Make my way over to the gauge here, and I'm looking. And we're only seeing, this filter's really big for my pool. Only seeing a couple PSI running at full tilt. And I'm going to empty the air that's accumulated on the top here. We could hear it coming out. Wait to see some water, and I'll close it. Give it a couple taps. And one more time. Yeah, there's no air. So I'll close that out, and look at the gauge again. This is full tilt. This is priming on my pool, and it's only showing about 6 pounds, I think. Yeah, about 6 pounds. But once priming stops and it goes to the low cycle, which is currently set for, it barely registers. And what shows 0 PSI on the filter is really good flow, shown here at the basket on the top side. So, very nice. I realized I neglected to clean out this filter. I'm going to show how I open this without filling up the entire filter with air. If I have this set up, I turn this right here to wastegate, and that blocks air from getting into the actual filter unit. We can see right here everything got quiet, and I could remove this and clean it. I did let it run a little for demonstration. Usually I would turn that handle first before opening this. Now it's cleaned. Put this back in, seal the cap back on, and then set it from waste back to normal operation. We can hear some bubbles flow back because I did demonstrate earlier what it sounds like before I turn the handle. But now priming is minimal in order to get this working properly again. So I wanted to show that technique. I hope you enjoyed this video on the Star Clear Plus maintenance. I hope you found it entertaining and informative. Hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button for more videos.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Would you like to reply?